good morning, everybody. Welcome to a new day. It is Tuesday, March 3rd. Last I knew, it was February. But yeah, we have jumped forward into a whole new month, and it's hard to believe that we're 3 days into it. Town meeting day in Vermont. Communities across the state going to be voting today on some very, very important decisions that are going to be shaping the year ahead. Local bylaws, school budgets, among many of the subjects that are going to be discussed and voted upon today. If you are curious about the agenda in your municipality, hop on over to VT Digger. They've got a guide to it that's pretty extensive. It's actually really impressive. Had a look at that this morning also. As I posted this morning on Aired Out, if you haven't yet submitted a mail-in ballot and you plan to vote in person today, you're going to see Central Vermont Home Health and Hospice's request for town funding. Please vote. Please support Central Vermont Home Health and Hospice so they can continue to deliver the high-quality, medically necessary home health and hospice care to all Vermonters living here in Central Vermont, regardless of their ability to pay. We love everything that they do, and I look forward so much to having them back on the air real soon. Yes, your vote counts. Yes, it matters. Please get out today if you can. Fly on the Wall Productions bringing you the Aired Out podcast. Checking the birthdays today. We got Scott Weston on the list. We have Sarah Tucker. Happy birthday to you, Sarah. Who else? Tim Reynolds, Zoe Jones, Nicole Bove, Connor Fowler, Patty Kelly, Jesse Brault, Sierra Massey, and Scott Weston also. What was that last one there? Jen Freeman, and Bennett McFawn. Happy birthday, everybody. Weather. We're looking at sunshine right now. I think most of us know that. I think it was like 6 degrees or so at my house this morning, creeping up very slowly. And I know that we're all so anxious for this heat wave that we're supposed to be getting here in the next couple of days. I think it's, 14 now here in Barrie, and supposed to get up to around 40 degrees later today, with maybe some snow showers coming in. But beautiful sunshine this morning. I'm absolutely loving it. Tonight looks like snow showers going to be tapering off late, down about 26. Be careful on the evening commute. Could get a little slick, depending on where you are today. Late this afternoon into the early evening hours. Wednesday, tomorrow, some patchy fog early, otherwise partly cloudy, and look at this, 47 degrees. Is that warm enough to open up the windows at the house? I don't know. 44 on Thursday. By Saturday, 53, and by the middle of next week, 63 degrees on Wednesday. That's amazing. Loving it. I don't know if this is the January thaw that's coming in a little late or if this is spring. Lots to get to this morning. I have a friend who is next to me, who I am so honored to call my friend, because a couple of years ago, I had only heard of Alice Goltz. And I had several people that reached out to me and said, do you know Alice Goltz? Do you know who she is? Do you know her story? And admittedly, I was not aware of who this remarkable lady is. Speaking of, and I just said the word remarkable, the Next Star Media Group has their Remarkable Women initiative that is going on, celebrating women making significant impacts in their local communities through their service, through their mentorship, through their leadership, and what they've done in their local communities. And when I woke up this morning, I was thinking about my guest this morning and how remarkable she is and how she should be considered for this. She is trying so hard to, frankly, move a mountain here in Vermont that should have been moved a long time ago. Her story is one that is almost hard to believe. If you've heard her on the air with me in the past, you're probably well aware of that. And if you're not familiar with Alice Goltz, please let me have the honor of introducing her to you right now. Good morning, my love. How are you?
Good. Good morning.
I'm so happy that you're here. This is incredible. Thank you for coming back into the studio.
Thank you for having me.
You have become, as I said, a friend. And as I have had the opportunity to get to know you, I've learned more and more and more about your story, which has so many layers to it and can go so deep. And as I continue to hear it, I, like so many others, are so struck by how unbelievable it is, but also how strong of a lady you are, how much hope you carry, and how resilient you are as a human being is unbelievable. And not everybody is like that. But you, when I hear the words Alice Goltz, that's what I think of. You wear that badge. You are one tough cookie, what you've been through. It's a story that has some sadness to it, but it also has some great hope to it. There's things being done, possibly even right now as we speak, that is going to change the landscape on situations like this in our state that will hopefully will prevent what happened to you from ever happening to anyone else. I know that you have some papers in front of you. I know that you have something that you have written, but I want to put it into context here for folks that are watching and listening right now before we get to that, so that they know who you are and what your story is. You have lived in Vermont for how long?
About 20 years.
Okay. Bottom line here, and it's again, there's so many layers to this story. It's amazing. You met someone, you fell in love, you got married.
Yes.
And you got pregnant.
Yes.
Okay. When was that?
I got married in about 2005.
Okay.
And I got got pregnant in 2006.
Okay.
And I had gallstones, so it was a bad pregnancy, and I couldn't have the gallstones removed until my daughter was born.
Okay. And she was born in April.
In April.
Okay. Of 2006.
Of 2007.
2007. Okay. So right around just under 20 years ago.
Yes.
Okay. And you named her April.
Yes.
All right. You had this beautiful little baby girl.
Yes.
Your first.
Yes.
And you and your baby were together in the hospital room post gallbladder surgery. Am I right with that?
Well, when I had my daughter, I didn't have the surgery yet.
Okay. Wow. All right. So you've got April with you. You're at what hospital now?
UV UVM.
In Burlington.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the day after I had my daughter, that's when the two men from DCF had came in my hospital room, stating that DCF was taking custody of my daughter.
Did you know that this was going to happen?
No, I didn't know this.
So this was a surprise to you.
Yes.
All right. What did you say, and what did they say to you?
I asked them who was making these charges. I asked them for a paper or anything, and they didn't tell me anything. They just said there would be emergency court hearing.
All right.
And so what I did was I contacted my brother, who was a lawyer at that time, who told me what I should do.
Was there a hospital staff that was there with these two guys?
No.
I can't even imagine. So did you give them a fight? Did you push back?
No. I was really scared.
Okay. And you were getting ready to have gallstones taken out?
No, that when I got my gallstones, that was after the pregnancy.
Okay. Oh, after the pregnant. Wow. So you were really going through it.
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about why these two guys from DCF in 2007 came into your hospital room and literally picked up your baby and walked out. Why?
They didn't actually walk out, but my daughter and me were in two separate rooms.
Okay.
I couldn't be with my daughter unless a nurse was in the room with me.
Okay. Why?
Because of DCF
Okay.
getting involved.
And why were they involved? Did you do anything wrong? Why was this all happening?
I really don't know, but there has been a lot of problems with DCF.
Okay. What I'm getting to is that you have a quote-unquote disability that the state of Vermont felt would impinge on your ability to be an effective mom.
Yes.
What is this disability?
I have an intellectual disability, and I have dystonia that causes my muscles to get really tight.
Okay. Other than that, you can think, you can make decisions, you live independently right now.
Yes.
How long have you lived independently?
I lived independently for about 18 years.
Okay. And you live in Montpelier.
Yes,
Right
now
now.
I live in Montpelier.
So someone somewhere was pushing papers and making decisions on your behalf without you really being aware of it,
Yes.
and decided that it would be best to take your child from you.
Yes. It was a really tough fight. I fought tooth and nail with my daughter because the state couldn't really take my daughter away from me because I followed my daughter everywhere.
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
Well, first when my daughter, we were supposed to live with the grandmother, she ga- she had came up to Vermont. This was in Burlington, and she was supposed to stay a month, and she only stayed a week. So DCF, um sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm following you.
Okay. So so what happened was that my attorney was able to get me and my daughter into custody together,
Okay.
where we live with each other. So in order for me to have my daughter, I had to live with somebody. So we lived at three different homes.
In Vermont?
In two were in Vermont, and then one was with my so-called friends. Had came up at one hearing, and she was a single mom too, and she had two kids, and she said she would take me and my daughter in. So we lived in Maryland with her, and then we lived with her in Virginia. And it was really hard for my daughter, the back and forth.
And that went on for how long?
That went on for about a year.
Okay.
And then she contacted DCF here in Vermont and told them that she didn't want us no more.
Okay. Then what happened?
So then Vermont gave Virginia temporary custody of my daughter. So there was supposed to always be hearings in Vermont, and I was never on the phone calls.
Okay.
So then there was a hearing in Virginia and Vermont had made a decision that my daughter was being taken back to the state. So Virginia told me, you go wherever your daughter goes. So my daughter came back here May 2nd, 2008. May 3rd, 2008, I flew back here. May 5th, 2008, I walked into the courtroom. My attorney had asked for visits set up for the mom, and my caseworker wasn't there. Her supervisor was there, and they said no. We didn't know the mom was coming, and my attorney had, when I came in the courtroom, the judge had ordered 5-day visits. So 2 days were in the lawn home, and 3 days were at DCF, and it was a real battle.
What happened after that?
Well, I would visit my daughter for those 5 days, but there would be times that when I went to DCF was really bad. Sometimes I'd be really sad. I'd walk home because I lived on two sides of Burlington South Burlington to get to all my visits. There would be children there at DCF, but the parents would not be there. I did everything for my daughter. I even took parenting classes even before my daughter was born, and we had so many evaluations with Dr. Susan Ewan that states that I can be a parent, and she found a program down in Massachusetts that me and my daughter would have been the first family from another state to go to this program. But DCF in Burlington roadblocked it because they went a day before the court hearing. But DCF in Brattleboro was willing to take our case.
So what happened?
So I lost custody of my daughter. And then the hearing was really hard because I really didn't want my daughter to go to her grandmother, the father's mother, but I didn't want my daughter to go to these two women. I I wanted to be able to raise my daughter.
Were there any kind of evaluations being done
Yes.
to show
Yes.
how effective of a mom as a parent
Yes.
that you could be?
Yes. Dr. Susan Yuan had did the evaluations and said that I can't be a parent. She said that she on my Al Jazeera report that we did in 2015.
Which is amazing, by the way.
This is how my story came to the state of Vermont. They did a 3-part story on me, Dr. Susan Yuan, and DCF. And Dr. Susan Yuan, she says she never met a parent so dedicated to her child. I took 2 airplanes to fly back to the state of Vermont.
So this went on for several years.
Yes.
Meanwhile, you're a crossing guard in Montpelier.
Yes. Well, I became a crossing guard in Montpelier. This was all after, cause when after I lost custody of my daughter, I left the state for a while, and I tried to live with my friends in Florida, but that didn't really work out. So then Dr. Susan Yuan had said that I should come back to Vermont. So I told Dr. Susan Yuan and my brother that I wanted to live central. So I first went through Home Share Vermont and lived in Morrisville. And then that didn't work out, but I had some friends that I was going to church with up in Hardwick. No, I was not in Hardwick. I was going to church in Hardwick, but I lived in Morrisville. And I lived with them for 2.5 months until I got my first apartment in Montpelier.
Okay.
Through the housing authority.
You have you've had quite a life over the last, especially over the last 20 years or so. At one point, while you were a crossing guard, by the way, was that difficult for you to be a crossing guard, seeing these children?
Yes, it was.
Every day.
It was hard. It was hard to see it.
Meanwhile, you're wondering where your baby girl is.
Yeah. Well, I did sort of know where she was.
She was in
Burlington.
In Burlington.
And I always had like a fear.
In custody.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always had like a fear that I may bump into her. So it was really hard for me. But by the grace of God, in 2014, that's when I saw my daughter, when one of the women called my name.
How did that happen? So this was a surprise to you. You were in Montpelier?
Yes.
Were you working as a crossing guard when this happened?
No. Me and my friend Shanice, we were walking, and then we heard somebody call my name.
Okay.
So then we stopped.
And you turned around, and
yes.
There was who was there?
It was one of the women who my daughter lives with.
Okay.
I call them the guardians.
Yep.
And she said, April, this is Mommy Alice. Alice, this is April. And we hugged and kissed, and it was a happy, sad, joyful time.
And how old was April then?
She was like about 7.5, 8.
And then what happened after that?
And then me and I didn't get to see her after that, But me and my friend, we wrote a letter to the Council on Disability in Washington, D.C., and that's when they sent Al Jazeera America to do the three-part story on me, Dr. Susan Ewan, and DCF.
That must have busted your heart right up.
Yes.
She's 7 or 8 years old at this point, and then you didn't see her after that?
Oh, no, I didn't see her.
Have you ever seen her since then?
No, I haven't.
That was the last time that you ever saw your daughter?
Yes. Only by the grace of God.
By chance, in Montpelier, for a few minutes.
Yes.
You wrote to the registry here in Vermont. You made a memory book, which is basically a book that you made that is full of timelines, photographs of the first couple of years with April.
Yes, me and my friend Bobby, we had put this book together.
You sent that to the registry in Vermont and said,
Yes.
please get this to April. Did you receive any communication back from them confirming that they did that?
Yes.
Okay.
But I didn't know if she was actually going to receive it because I call them the guardians.
Yeah.
They kept my daughter away from me for so long.
And some could say that they were simply, for lack of a better term, just doing their job.
Yes.
As directed by the state of Vermont. After you were told that they got this memory book into April's eyes, was there any communication? Or was it just simply, were you able to write her letters? Were you able to have any back and forth communication with April as she was growing up through her teenage years?
Yes, I was. I was able to get pictures and letters.
Okay. And then, I mean, basically, you've got to wait until she's 18.
Well, now she's 18.
Yeah. She turned 18 last April.
Last April.
Which is when you were on the air with me last.
Yes. I was on the air, sorry. No. First, I got a phone call from JD about when I'd like to come back on his show. So, this was around her birthday weekend. So then I came back. I said we made a date for me to come back on his show on April 23rd, 2025.
Yeah.
And then 2 weeks after, I had heard from her. I did hear from her, which was I was so happy.
And what was that like? What did she do? Did she mail you something or phone call, or how did she reach out to you? How did she contact you?
She had called me because the last time I went to the registry with the memory book. I had sent a letter with putting my phone number on, and that I was on Facebook. So that's how she contacted me, saying that that she did receive the memory book, and that she loved the memory book. She saw how much I put into the memory book for her.
That's what she said.
Yes.
Like you're on the phone with her and she's saying this to you.
Well, I did miss her phone call, but this was on the answer machine, And then the next day was Mother's Day, and she wished me a happy Mother's Day.
By text?
Yeah, by text.
Okay. So that was just last, this is what you're talking about right now, was last April and last May.
Yes.
Okay. A year ago.
Yes.
All right. Then what? You basically you tried to set up a date where you two could meet.
Yes.
And how did that go?
But that never actually happened.
All right.
I did write something about that.
Go right ahead.
Let me see if I can find that.
Why don't you read that? Read the whole thing that you wrote.
Okay.
Because you put a lot of time into this,
Yes.
Alice.
This is what I wrote. I made a memory book with my friend Bobby for my daughter April. I brought it to the registry at that time. I didn't know if my daughter would get the memory book. I also sent a letter with my phone number, as the guardians had kept my daughter away from me for so long. By the grace of God, I saw my daughter in Montpelier. 2 weeks later, after the podcast, was Mother's Day weekend. I got a call from my daughter, April, that she got the memory book. She said she loved the book. It meant so much to her. She said she has seen I put a lot of work into this book for her. That Sunday, she wished me a happy Mother's Day. I was so happy. Finally, I got to hear from my daughter. We tried to get together, but it never happened. We would text back and forth. One text I sent her, I told her I would be a listening ear. And she can talk about the memory book and whatever else was on her mind. She texted me back and said, "Your message means the world to me. I'd love to catch up and talk about the memory book and everything else on my mind." This was in June. So then I wrote back to her to see when we could set up a time and a date. Then she texts back and said, "Hey, Mom, I'm actually on vacation and won't be back for a bit. I'd love to catch up. Let's plan something when I get back to Vermont." I haven't heard anything since June. The number she was texting me was a Florida number. One time when I text that number, there was another number that appeared on the text. I called the number and it was a guy's voice. I didn't talk to the guy. I did some research into the phone number she was calling me on. The number she texted me belonged to a man named Brandis Lewis, age 39. Not 39, sorry, age 38, Jacksonville, Florida. My last resort was to send a letter through the registry. I sent one September and didn't hear anything. Then I sent another one in January. And here is what the registry said to me. It said, "Hi, Alice. Your email has been received here. We also got your correspondence from September and did try to send it to April by email per request. However, it bounced back. We also attempted to contact her by mail, but didn't hear back. And she did not provide the phone number for us. Then they said, we will try to contact her to be able to send your letter to her. And this was January 14th of this year. It's very puzzling. I don't know what happened to my daughter. I hope someone can help. Yeah.
Is that everything?
Yes.
What's the latest?
I still haven't heard nothing. So I decided to go on Air Now podcast and like share some of her pictures and the story because I felt there was more people that may be able to help me.
Well, you have so she's going to be
She,
19
yes, she'll be 19 this year.
in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
The last time you were on, we showed some photos of April. And she's a beautiful girl. We'll show some pictures now. Here she is. And she's got a different last name here.
Yes.
What should we do here with this? Other than give you prayers and hope and encouragement that at some point, April, who we assume she knows your full name.
Yes.
And she knows where you live. And we assume that she knows your phone number because she's called it.
Yes. But it's been really puzzling because we don't actually know what's going on.
Right. We don't know who this guy is that's connected to this phone number. We don't know if this is a boyfriend or a friend or it's a Florida phone number. We don't know if she's moved to Florida. We don't really know anything.
We don't know if she's been kidnapped or anything.
Has that crossed your mind?
Yes, I was thinking about this Epstein files.
Yeah.
Has been making, and then finding out about whose phone number this was. So it's just been like a mystery.
This young lady has participated in the Governor's Institute of Health and Medicine not once, but twice in 2022 and 2023. She's also been part of the Northern Vermont AHEC Hero Program, which is a career-focused program for high school students who want to explore the medical field. She's a sharp kid. What else do you know about her? Do you know where she's worked?
No, I don't know where she has worked.
Do we know if she's in LNA?
I know she's in LNA. She has got her LNA license.
And had plans to enroll in a physician's assistant program?
Yes.
Okay. Have you... I'm getting a private text here. Two of them. Number one saying that you should publicly give out this phone number here on Aired Out and have everyone calling it every 5 minutes looking for her. But also a text message here asking if you have hired a private investigator.
No, I didn't because I really I really don't know if I can do that since she was adopted.
This is a very delicate situation. There's a fine line between actively pursuing your daughter, but also allowing her, assuming she knows, as we've kind of already established this, she knows your name, she knows your phone number, she knows where you live, allowing her the space and the time to come to you. You've already had some contact with her, but I think you're puzzled why she said Happy Mother's Day to you. She's left a voicemail for you. She's sent you a text saying thank you, acknowledging the receipt of this memories book that you've put together. But nothing since then.
No, I mean we have been just texting back and forth since June. But what was really puzzling is like she reached out and then she said that let's get together after I come back to Vermont.
That she was on vacation.
That she was on vacation, and then I didn't hear nothing.
All right, and that was last June.
Yes, that was last June.
Saying, I'm on vacation. When I get back, let's get together.
Yes.
And you've tried to call since.
Yeah, which I tried to text and everything.
Do you have an email for her?
I did try. I did. When I looked on, when I was looking for her, I found an email. But when I tried to send the email, it bounced back.
Okay. And the only phone number that you have for her is this one that's a Florida phone number.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, no communication since this past June.
Yes, this is past June. So I felt like, well, I felt like, what do I got to lose? You know, I don't have nothing right now. So I figured, well, let's go on Air It Out podcast and see what could happen.
I got a lot of stuff that's running through my mind here, but one of them is that I think in our conversations that we've had privately, I think, and I've asked you, what is it that you want? What is it that you're hopeful for at this point, as with a young girl who's 19 years on this planet, is establishing and creating a life of her own? What is it that you're hopeful for? And I think you've made that pretty clear to me. Why don't you tell everyone else what it is that you really want?
Well, what I'm really hopeful for is I want to have a relationship with my daughter again. You know, my daughter I've been robbed out of all those years. And I just want to be with my daughter, and that means the most to me out of anything is God and my daughter. That's the most important thing to me. And I just feel like, you know, I was very happy that she finally got the memory book, because my daughter is into social justice. So I want her to see the unjust, and hopefully to find out where she is and what's going on with her.
You have kind of indicated to me, Alice, that you're not really interested in overstepping your boundaries, that you are well aware of what they are, that you're not looking to go from 0 to 60 in 1 second, but rather just to take an inch at a time and see where it goes.
Yes.
Have some coffee, have some conversation, and just start maybe creating a very basic relationship, at least to have some contact a little bit, even if it's one text a week or every 2 weeks or whatever. Maybe a restaurant, maybe a coffee, maybe just a phone call for 10 minutes here and there, just to get to know, frankly, each other.
Yes.
A little bit. She doesn't really know much about you.
No.
And maybe not much about her own story and how it unfolded. That may have been withheld from her. I'm guessing that it has been. But for you to have the opportunity to share with her your story, your side of the story.
Yes.
And also for you to hear what she's been through. Good, bad, and ugly.
Yes.
And maybe she would just like to have a very limited amount of information to share with you, which I think that you would have high regard for and respect for.
Yes.
But just to have something.
Yes.
That's what you're looking for. Yeah. Tell me about Connor Casey. Representative Connor Casey.
Connor Casey, he's one of the legislators here in Montpelier for the district of Montpelier, and he's really good. We're working on a bill for parents with disabilities. It's called H315.
Yep.
It's to help parents keep their children.
It's in committee right now and has been for a year. And it has been fully introduced to the Vermont legislature. The bill proposes to prohibit using an individual's disability as a reason to deny or restrict the rights and responsibilities of parent, protective parent, foster parent, or guardian, unless doing so is in the best interests of the child. I'll read the summary here, and I'm going to post it up in the comments here, and I'm also going to post up Connor Casey's email address for folks that are listening to this podcast to reach out to him and give support to H315. The bill addresses non-discrimination for parents with disabilities by establishing comprehensive protections across various legal proceedings involving children. The legislation recognizes that individuals with disabilities have historically faced unfair biases and preconceived notions about their parenting abilities and aims to prevent discrimination in family law, adoption, guardianship, and foster care contexts. Specifically, the bill prohibits using a disability as a sole basis for denying or restricting parental rights, responsibilities, or parent-child contact when such rights are otherwise in the best interests of the child. If concerns are raised about a parent's disability potentially impacting a child, the bill requires the party making the allegation to provide clear and convincing evidence of actual endangerment and gives parents the opportunity to demonstrate how supportive parenting services could address any potential concerns. The bill also requires courts to make specific written findings if they decide to limit parental rights based on disability and mandates consideration of reasonable accommodations. Additionally, the legislation applies these protections across multiple domains, including adoption, guardianship, foster care, and child welfare proceedings, ensuring that individuals with disabilities are not automatically presumed unfit to parent or care for children. The bill is set to take effect on July 1st, 2025, and represents a significant step towards protecting the parental rights of individuals with disabilities. The first time that this bill was read and referred to the Committee on Judiciary was a year ago in February. What's the status on this? I mean, it's in session now. Do we know? Do we know what the latest is on this?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
But I've been going back and forth trying to talk to Connor Casey. And also, I have met with one of the senators. And when I talked to her, she was talking to me about maybe thinking about testifying.
I'm going to put Representative Connor Casey's information, including phone number and email, into the comments right here. And hopefully we can get some information. Hopefully people will be able to email him at the very least, if not call, and support this bill in any way, shape, or manner that they can.
I know it's too late for me, but I want to help other parents.
You have said that to me so many times.
Yes.
Tell me about Laura Cushman and Lindsay Owen from Disability Rights Vermont. These are two people that are very familiar with your story.
Yes. Yes.
What are they doing to help you out?
Well, really, they haven't been able to do anything, but we're all working on this bill together to help, because they said they still get calls, and they still get calls about the disability law, because a lot of these people that go into court, they're public defenders, so they don't really know about the disability law.
Mm-hmm.
So they're looking for help.
Okay.
Even in my case, there was something put out with the disability law that said that they weren't supposed to discriminate against me and have some kind of accommodations, but the state of Vermont just overrided it and swept it under the rug. But they were surprised. But even though they tried to sweep it under the rug, it eventually came out when the 3-part story, the Al Jazeera story, came out. And then what was amazing about the time that my story had came out, here in Vermont, there was a parent that lost her parental rights. A shooting here in Barrie,
Mm-hmm.
and this was also because of the disability. Parents are very upset about all this, all these things that are happening with their children.
The way that, and I've got the bill posted right here in the comments for people to read. The way you have responded and reacted to all of this has been remarkable to me. With great pause and restraint and patience, calmness.
I think God has given me the peace, because I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have God in my life.
You are a very religious lady. Do you pray every night?
Yes.
What do you pray for?
I pray that for my daughter's protection. I pray for people. I pray for our country.
Yeah. Your hope is that your story will help others in the future going forward to not go down the same road or a similar road that you've gone down.
Yes.
A lot of this stuff is subjective in nature and really needs people to be human beings first. And ultimately, before everything and anything else, it's got to be about what is in the child's best interest, what is best for the child. But to have all contact removed between a child and a mother like you, who is such a beautiful person with such a beautiful heart, and that's hard for me to hear, especially, and I know I've said this on the air in the past, and I got in a little trouble for saying it, but frankly, I don't care, and I'll say it again. Especially considering the fact that there are so many parents who have custody of their children, and for whatever reason it be, are not parents who have the best interest of their child at the forefront of their heart. That's what's frustrating to me. And I could go down that rabbit hole, but I think most people that are watching and listening right now are able to read between the lines and know exactly what it is that I'm saying. There's parents out there that really need a lot of work and a lot of help to get their own shit together so that they can properly care for and parent, which is very much a verb, their own children. And frankly, having a second and third and fourth child is something that just compounds this even more so. You've got one. And this story is, in my opinion, a tragedy. It is one of time lost and love that has not been tapped into. And that's really hard to hear. Time, I feel, is the greatest gift that any of us can receive. It is our best friend, and it can be our worst enemy. I hope and pray that something positive will come out of this story for you, Alice. So many people in Vermont are aware of your story. For those that are not, and they've listened to this episode this far, they very much are aware of your story. And I hope that things change. And I hope that there's something positive that's going to result, not just from this episode, but from your story and from this bill, H315. I've reached out to Connor Casey. I want you to know that. He's got an email from me. He knows who I am, and I've invited him to come on the podcast. I know that they're in session right now, and I know that things are nuts for them. But it is my high hope that he will not only watch this episode, but that he'll take me up on his offer. He's never going to find the time to come on the air, ever. He's got to make the time. And that's not easy. Big respect. And I know that that's tough. But if he's able to make the time, I would be truly honored to have him come on. And whatever support our community here in Vermont can give him and you, I hope that they do that. I hope Vermonters step up. I hope that they email, call, whatever they need to do. That's one thing. You being in touch with April is something that no bill can have an effect on.
Yes.
That our community can't really help with other than pray for you. And that's that. Surround yourself with people who care for you and love you. I think you're doing a pretty damn good job of that.
Yes.
And I always look forward to seeing you and hearing any updates that you have. Hope is a powerful thing.
Yes.
Sometimes it works for us. Sometimes it can work against us. And I hope that you are surrounded by people who help you design clear objectives, realistic goals, and don't fill your heart too much with anything that's unrealistic. You've been so patient, remarkably patient. And let's see where this goes. This is an ongoing story. It has been going on for 19 years.
Yes.
You're an amazing woman. And I think that you're an amazing mom. And frankly, I wish there were more moms who loved their children and wanted to be with them as much as you do.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on, Alice.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to do it again.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay? We're going to
Okay.
do it again. And we're going to see what can possibly result here.
Thank
and
you.
I'm really hoping that Lindsay Owen or Laura Cushman or Representative Casey would be willing to come on the air here. The first two ladies from Disability Rights Vermont. See what we can do. I'm behind you, Alice.
Thank you so much.
All of my listeners and followers are as well.
Thanks.
You're an amazing lady. You are a huge inspiration. And I love you.
Thank you. I love you too, JD.
Hang in there, okay?
Thank you.
All right.